Hi, I'm Jan with Academic Technologies. For faculty who would like to provide additional content for their students outside of the classroom, screencasting can become the ideal resource. Screencasts are essentially video recordings of a screen that is currently in use, like a computer monitor. Uses for these kinds of videos include the creation of video lectures for a flipped classroom setting, or demonstrating a procedure for using other software in the ways you want your students to use it. In this video, we'll walk through the basics of how you can use Screencast-O-Matic, a free software platform that can be used to record screencasts videos. By the end of this video, you should be able to create, edit, and publish screencast video files that can be used on a number of platforms. If you have any questions while watching this video, you can reach out to CNU's Academic Tech team or to me specifically at jana.docherty@cnu.edu. As I mentioned, Screencast-O-Matic is a free software package that can be launched on any computer, both Mac and PC. This software is launched using your web browser, so for the sake of compatibility, we recommend using a recent web browser such as Firefox or Chrome. You can use the most recent version of Screencast-O-Matic by opening that web browser and going to screencast-o-matic.com. You should see a button to start recording using the free version of the tool, and the option to purchase the Pro version of this software for $15 a year. This comes with some additional editing tools which can be useful once you've used it frequently. But we're just covering the basics today, so let's click Start Recording and launch our recorder. Now because I'm using Chrome, we get an additional dialog box here asking for permission to launch the screen recording. But no matter the browser, you should see a box here that says Launching Recorder. This is important to note because if for whatever reason your browser doesn't automatically launch the recorder, you'll have the option to download the recorder to your computer and launch it manually. I'm going to click this dialog box, say Open Screen Recorder Launcher, and let the page launch the recorder. And now we can see that our recording space is made. Once the recorder is launched, you're free to leave this web page and show whatever content it is you wish to record. Once it's launched, it's no longer dependent on the web page. Once launched, this recorder takes the form of a pair of boxes overlaid on your computer screen. The first box, indicated by the dotted line, indicates the space that will be recorded once you start. The dimensions of this box can be altered by clicking and dragging in order to fit your full screen or to just record the portion that you want. For example, let's make it a little larger. The second, smaller box, down in the bottom left, is where you can change the settings for your recording. In this box, you can select whether you are recording your screen, recording footage from your computer's webcam, if your computer happens to have a webcam, or recording footage from both simultaneously. You can also use other settings, such as the maximum time that your recorder will capture. I want to note that the basic recorder is capped at 15 minutes. If you want larger recordings, you can upgrade to Pro. You can select the size and quality of the recording, whether or not the recording includes narration from a computer microphone, and whether or not it will also capture the sounds that are made by your computer. For example, if part of your screencast includes a video or other program that makes sounds that you need to record. There are some additional settings, such as hotkeys, but since again we are covering the basics, I'll just point out that they're there. Once you've chosen your desired settings, you can collapse this box by selecting the X button in the top right. If you find that you need to change your settings later on, you can open up those settings again by selecting the gear icon in the mini version of this box, which will open that settings box again. Starting to create a recording is just as easy as launching the recorder, but there's a couple of recommendations I want to make first. A good rule of thumb is before you start recording, you want to place everything on the page the way that you want it to be before you start. This will make the editing process later on easier. For example, if I want to record myself logging in to CNU Connect as a demonstration to how it should be done, I would want to navigate to that page, use the corners of the dotted line window to fully surround everything I want to record, and make sure everything is placed the way I want. You may also see this icon here in the center, letting you click and drag your window to the desired spot. Once you are fully prepared, you can then press the record button to start recording. You'll have a brief countdown to prepare. And now everything that I do is being recorded. I'll click sign in. Once you have finished recording what you wish to record, you can click the pause button, which is located where the record button is when you're not recording. Once you have, you'll be able to see the record button along with a play button, which allows you to sample the recording you've made. Well, let's take a look at our preview, just a couple seconds. And now everything that I do is being recorded. We can see that our recording is being previewed. We can also navigate back to the last pause or resume point. We can also discard everything that we have made and start over, or select Done, which will let us begin the editing process. The resulting window can let you preview your final recording as well as trim the edges of the recording to remove dead air. You can see that you can do that by clicking and dragging these sliders. I'm going to remove sections from each end. Once you export or publish, only the section within that trimmed area will be used. Once you've finished with that, you can choose to export your screencast as a video file to your computer, which is useful if you plan on adding additional edits or uploading to an outside program. Or you can upload it directly to YouTube. There is also a third option. Screencast-O-Matic provides the opportunity to create a free login on their website where users can upload and store their screencast videos. The login for this video storage location can be found on the same website where we launched the recorder, screencast-o-matic.com. You can see the login button here at the upper right. With the resulting window, you can use an email and a password, or if you use the login with Google option, you can use your CNU credentials, which will log you in to a storage space where I can see my uploads, access to the Pro recorders, and even download and install the recorder from any computer. Videos stored on this login can be stored for as long as you like and then shared and viewed by others. However, this type of sharing and hosting does come with advertisements in the free version of the account, which should be considered when you choose where you will export your Screencast-O-Matic videos. For more details on how to take the best advantage of this hosting, including sharing videos and creating playlists, the Screencast-O-Matic site provides a series of video tutorials that help summarize how to best use this service. We'll be providing a link to these tutorials in the video description. With these basic tools, you can start creating screencasts using Screencast-O-Matic for all your classroom needs. If you have any questions after watching this video, please feel free to reach out to us at Academic Technologies at jana.docherty@cnu.edu. Bye!